Okay. Sorry. So, would you say that when you started your first diet, you didn't really eat emotionally? You probably ate reactively prior to your first diet, not even knowing it, based on just gluttony, where food was the center of attention, but you never really felt bad or felt guilt.
I just ate what I wanted.
You just ate when you wanted, and you just probably ate reactively with the culture, which is probably why you gained. Plus, in college, which is when you gained, you end up staying up like 3, 4 in the morning. The alcohol content goes up. You end up just throwing off all of your circadian rhythms. You end up messing, there's some major change in the food and when you're a kid and you're at home, a lot of times there's some form of routine to it, and it gets totally thrown off. So once you'd gained some weight and you went on your first diet, that was when you started to judge food, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so explain that. What was it? When did you, how was that? And tell me if, I want you to say it.
Okay.
I don't want to be me videotaping and telling you what you think.
My first diet in my probably early 20s was the first time I ever put good and bad associated at all with food.
What was that first diet? Was it just something that a friend was doing, or was this something you actually paid for?
It was a program through work that I paid for.
Was it a dietitian or a nutritionist or someone that said this is bad food, avoid?
It's Weight Watchers.
Okay, something. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Okay. But
it's YouTube.
Yeah. But anyway, which I did have some success on, but losing the weight. But now.
Is that when you started obsessing over the scale too?
Yes.
So there was a scale obsession, and then this kind of.
Because you weigh in every week, and then before you know it, you're weighing in every day at home, and.
So do you remember the first time you had an emotional binge on food where you felt bad about it and said, screw it, I might as well eat it all?
Yes.
Because I'll just start over tomorrow. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. It was pizza.
And then when you're eating it, you feel like you're getting something, like it's like hiding in the closet and eating something bad. You get kind of a rush from it. It
feels good in the moment, and then immediately when you're done, it feels so bad, like guilty bad.
Did you do anything about it? Or you just let yourself sit there? Okay. That's usually some people who have the sense that is so guilty they end up purging.
No, I've never done that.
So, still binge eating disorder. It may not have been a bulimic disorder. Right. It's still, that's what the diet industry has literally inflicted on hundreds of thousands of people. Mm-hmm. Starts with the first diet. Starts with the obsession over weight. Starts with judging food.
Right.
So when we do this whole thing over, my goal is that you don't have the good bad anymore.
I don't want that either.
Yeah, there's intelligence with what you put in your body, what's healthy and what's not, but you shouldn't emotionalize it.
Right.
So, how would that feel to just be able to eat anything?
And not think about it?
Not have guilt.
Not have guilt. It would be foreign. It would
feel like you were a kid again?
Yes, it would.
And what would be the likelihood that you binge on it if you don't have guilt?
I mean, it wouldn't.
Because you wouldn't feel deprived.
No.
Do you see how simple this is? You're smiling.
Yeah. It's all making sense.
Well, I think too, when you can go back to your history and kind of rethink when this behavior occurred, that's just a nightmare. It's the diet industry. It's the judgment of food. It's just awful.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily the intelligence. It's the judgment. It's the emotional judgment of it all. And we've got to be able to detach that judgment and emotion from it. And because if you can do that, your likelihood of gaining your fat back or binging or having this obsession over scale, defining yourself by your body, is about to go away.
Good.
I know. And it's only been like a decade of this for you, so it should be a little easier than the patients who have like 3 to 4 decades of this.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's easier.
All right, let's finish this now.